Welcome to Moshiach in the Parsha, where we're going to connect something in the Parsha with Moshiach. So this week's Parsha is Parshat Pinchas. Now, right away, before we even go into the Parsha, the name Pinchas itself is very much connected to Moshiach. And the reason is because the sages tell us that this individual, Pinchas, who is the grandson of Aaron, the high priest, he carries the same soul that would be in Elijah the prophet. So Elijah the prophet and Pinchas share the same soul. And what's the connection to Mashiach? Well, because Elijah the prophet, which is, he didn't actually pass away. He went up to heaven in a chariot of fire, and he actually visits the Jewish people on many occasions. You may be familiar, every Passover Seder, we have a cup that's filled up for Elijah the prophet, but also every circumcision, every Brit Milah, he attends as well. The connection between Elijah and Mashiach, our sages tell us, is that he actually is going to be announcing Mashiach's arrival prior to Mashiach's coming. So he's going to be the one who's going to give us the good news that Mashiach is coming. Now, this has its own subject and a topic on its own, but I just want to put out there that even before we go to the details of the Parsha, the name of the Parsha itself, the individual who is named after Pinchas, he carries the soul of Elijah the prophet, which is the harbinger of the redemption. And but we're going to focus on another aspect in the Parsha, specifically in connection to the land of Israel. How we see in the Parsha where the land of Israel is divided into different portions, that every tribe, almost every tribe, had a specific portion allotted to him in the land of Israel. So I'm going to put up a screen here. So this is chapter 26 in this week's Parsha. If you go to verse 53, this is the beginning of it, where God tells Moses, the land will be divided among these as an inheritance according to the number of names. And the verses continue explaining the exact way how the land should be divided, specifically through a lottery, a Geulah. And it was a fascinating way how it was actually done. This lottery was all miraculous. The coin would actually, just briefly to explain, the coin would use the Urim V'Tumim, which was on the breastplate of the priest, and this was kind of a divine inspiration. Many questions would be answered through this breastplate, and it was basically a prophecy. And the Kohen Elazar, which was the Kohen at the time, before they actually did a raffle about which tribe gets which portion of land, he would actually prophesy before and say, this tribe is going to come out as a lottery, and another box has another tickets of which land that tribe is going to get. And he would say, for example, Shimon is going to get this portion. And then right after that, that's what happened. They mixed the box with the tickets, and it came Shimon, and then the exact name of the tribe, the exact portion that he actually said before, came out to be exactly as is. So, and not only that, there was also another miracle that God performed, that the lottery itself, the actual lot, spoke and said, this tribe for this piece of land. So a fascinating way how it actually was done, but the point is that the division of Israel into portions for every Jew, every tribe was the instructions were in our Parsha. Later on in the Parsha, we see that Moshe is giving over leadership to Joshua, his student, because Moshe is not going to go into Israel, but Joshua is going to take over, and he's going to be the one who's going to lead the Jews into Israel. So this is a very big theme in the Parsha. The Jews are being prepared to go into the land of Israel through the new leader Joshua, which then they will eventually be divided into different portions in Israel. So the point I want to make with Mashiach here is that just like then, there was a division of the land. The land was divided amongst the different tribes. So will be when Mashiach comes. But there's going to be a little difference. So to keep it brief, the original division of the land was divided into 12 tribes. But not all tribes actually got a specific portion. So Levi was one of the tribes, the Levite, Levi, but he actually wasn't apportioned a specific part of Israel. He had a higher status. He shared different areas from all the tribes, but there was no specific area for Levi. Rather, Joseph had two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, and God basically gave them, Manasseh and Ephraim, tribal portions. So there was 12 allocations, but the tribe of Levite actually was not involved. But there was 12 portions. What's going to change when Mashiach comes is that it's going to be divided into 13 portions, not 12. And to whom will the 13th portion belong to? So most commentaries conclude this is going to be the portion that belongs to the leader of all the Jews. This is Moshiach, King Messiah himself. He's going to possess this 13th portion of the land of Israel. There is a discussion about the other 12 portions, whether that's Levi now, or maybe it's going to remain as before, that Manasseh and Ephraim are going to keep two, and Levi is also excluded. Anyways, but that's another discussion. The point being is that just like then there was a division of the land amongst the Jews, they were going to inherit the land and it's going to be divided amongst the Jewish people. So too, when Mashiach comes, there's going to be another division. Every single tribe is going to have a portion, and there's going to be not 12 portions that are divided, but it's going to be a land that's divided into 13 portions. And there is a tractate, Baba Basra. There's a discussion about this exact topic, about the division of the land, how it's divided. And there explains one difference there I want to bring out is that the original way the land was divided was not every land was equal. There was, some lands had better things than the others. But when it comes to Mashiach, the Talmud discusses that it's going to be different. Every tribe, every portion is going to be as equal. Everyone's going to have all the qualities of the land in each of their portions. So it's an amazing change here that everyone's going to have a portion of the land. Every tribe, every Jew already has. Essentially, we all have our portion in the land of Israel, and we're all going to be equally, when it comes to equality, it's all going to be equal. So when we read the Parsha, and the Parsha is talking about how they're going to go into Israel very soon, and Joshua is going to bring the Jews into Israel, and we're talking about dividing the land. We're going to inherit and start living in Israel. This should awaken us the desire and anticipation that also for us very soon we're going to be entering the land of Israel, and we're going to be having a portion. Each one has a specific portion allotted to us. So that's something very exciting to get yourselves familiar of and to kind of look at the Parsha very practical. I want to conclude with an amazing story that the Lubavitcher Rebbe quoted many times, I believe in the name of his father-in-law, a brief story with an powerful lesson. And he, over the years he said this, but in 1991, he took this story and kind of expanded it and asked different questions on it, and I want to just go through very briefly at one point from that talk. The story is as follows. There was once a Hasidic leader of the Chabad Rebbe, the Tzemach Tzedek. And this was this chossid, this student was living in Russia at the time, and he felt it was hard to devote himself entirely to serving God. And he felt if I moved to Israel, that would be a whole other spiritual experience, be able to focus more on my spiritual journey. So I think it's a good idea to move to Israel. But before any decision a chassid makes, he goes to his Rebbe. And he discusses his idea with the Rebbe, that Tzemach Tzedek, whether he should move to Israel or not. And the Rebbe he's like, it's not a good idea. I don't think you should go to Israel. Rather, he said in Yiddish, Mach da Eretz Yisrael, which translates to make here Israel. Don't go to Israel and leave Russia. Rather, be in Russia and create the environment, the holiness of Israel. Create that over there where you are in Russia. And this was a story the Rebbe, again, always repeated. But in 1991, the Rebbe drove this story with an amazing lesson that's very practical for the time we're living in. And the Rebbe said, based on this story, make here Israel, is that even though we're in a moment later, we're going to be out of this exile. Any second, we're all going to be going to Israel. We're all going to be inheriting the land. So maybe one could think that it's not significant what I do now. Anyway, is not going to be here. It's only temporary. The place we're in, the time we're living, it's going to be very soon the full redemption. And who says I have to put my all in, invest all my energies into the work that I'm doing now? If it's anyways, I'm going to drop it all. I'm going to go to Israel. And it's going to be a whole nother lifestyle out of exile. So one can think that it's not applicable in general. This whole issue of make here Israel, because in a moment later I'm not going to be in Israel. Why should I invest energy to make here Israel if I'm physically going to be in Israel very soon when Moshiach comes? And also, who says one can think that my action, the things I do here in my corner of the world, is not significant to the rest of the world. And the Rebbe uses this story as an empowerment in saying, even though, yes, in a moment we're probably going to be out of this exile. Any second it can happen. But nonetheless, we still have to listen to this instruction of Mach da Eretz Yisrael. Make in this place, and this place can be figurative, not just physically, the time we live in, the place we live in, everything that's in our life right now, the now we have to focus on. Despite what's going to happen a moment later, we shouldn't think about our past or the future. Right now, Hashem is telling us we have to be fully invested and making our area where we are and the time we're living in to embrace these things and to make the best out of it. We should think the best possible way. We should do the best actions, and we should use all of our faculties, all of our energies, in investing ourselves in making the place we are in right now as holy as it can be, like literally living messianic even in exile. So we should continue to do what we need to do, even though we have a few more moments in exile. And the Rebbe said in that talk that we should make the day a Moshiach day. We should already live like we're in Israel, even though we're right now not in Israel. But the more we do our service, the way we serve Hashem completely, fully immersed in the things we need to do, this is the best preparation. By living Messianic right now, hopefully we'll be able to right away leave out of this galus, and we're hopefully going to, like the Parsha says, going to go to Israel, inherit the land, and go into the portion that's allocated to us. So may this Parsha again inspire us to our anticipation for Mashiach should grow as a result of reading this in this week's Parsha, and hopefully very soon we will all be in Israel together, each in their portion, along with all of our loved ones from the past are going to be resurrected and take the portion as well. All right, that is going to be today's little class, the connection between Pinchas and Mashiach, the division of the land. Have a wonderful Shabbos, and we will see you in Jerusalem. Shabbat Shalom.